Greetings aspirants. Hope you all are doing well. Welcome to the daily news analysis of Vignan series from CivicCentre IAS, where we try to discuss the important articles from the Hindu, the Indian Express and the PIB from the UPSC CSC prelims perspective. Displayed are the list of topics which we are going to discuss from the today. So, the first article says that the center has scrapped the auction of 3 critical mineral blocks as there were very fewer bidders than expected. The auction is part of the center's push towards self-reliance in critical mineral supplies. In this context, let us talk about critical minerals. So, what are critical minerals? See, critical minerals are those minerals which are essential for the economic development and national security of a country. Know that a mineral is labeled as critical when the risk of supply shortage and associated impact on the economy is relatively higher than the other raw materials. Hence, the lack of availability of these minerals or even the concentration of existence, extraction or processing of these minerals in few geographical locations may lead to supply chain vulnerability and disruption. Significantly, critical minerals are the foundation on which modern technology is built. So, from solar panels to semiconductors, wind turbines to advanced batteries for storage and transportation, the world needs critical minerals to build these products. Lastly, the government has released a list of 30 critical minerals for India. These are antimony, beryllium, bismuth, cobalt, copper, gallium, germanium, graphite, hafnium, indium, lithium, molybdenum, niobium, nickel, PGE, phosphorus, potash, REE, rhenium, silicon, strontium, tantalum, tellurium, tin, titanium, tungsten, vanadium, zirconium, selenium and cadmium. So these are the list of minerals released by the government of India. The next article talks about the appointment of the governors by the president. In this context, let us see who is a governor, how is he appointed and qualifications required with respect to the governor. So, you have to know that the governor is a nominal executive head of the state. Further, he forms an important part of the state executive where he acts as the chief executive head. Know that the central government nominates the governor for each state. Then, how is the governor of a state appointed? See, Article 153 of the Indian Constitution says that there shall be a governor for each state. A few years after the commencement of the Constitution, an amendment in 1956 laid down that nothing in this article shall prevent the appointment of the same person as governor for 2 or more states. Further, Article 155 says that the governor of a state shall be appointed by the president by warrant under his hand or seal. Notably, under the Article 156, the governor shall hold the office during the pleasure of the president, but his normal term of office will be 5 years. But if the president withdraws his pleasure before the completion of 5 years, then the governor has to step down. Since the president acts on aid and advice of the Prime Minister and the Union Council of Ministers, in effect you can say that the governor is appointed and removed by the central government. Then what are the qualifications required for the appointment as a state governor? See, the articles 157 and 158 lay down the qualifications of the governor and the conditions of his office. According to them, first the governor must be a citizen of India. Then he should have completed the age of 35 years. And lastly, the governor should not be a member of the parliament or a state legislature and must not hold any other office of profit. The next article says that the Finance Secretary T.V. Somanathan said that the capital gains is the fastest growing income class in India and it deserves to be taxed at a higher rate on the grounds of raising revenues for the government and equity and fairness. In this context, let us see the various aspects related to the capital gains tax. So what is this capital gains tax? See, the term capital gains tax can be defined as profits accumulated from the sale of any capital asset. Some of the examples of the capital assets are land, buildings, house property, vehicles, patents, trademarks, leasehold rights, machinery and jewelry. This includes having rights in or in relation to an Indian company. Additionally, it also includes the rights of management, control or any other legal right. Furthermore, depending on the duration, these capital gains can be either short term or long term. Firstly, talking about the short term capital gains tax, see, any asset that is held for less than 36 months is termed as a short term asset. In the case of immovable properties, the duration is just 24 months. Thus, the profits generated through the sale of such an asset would be treated as a short term capital gain and would be taxed accordingly under the short term capital gains tax. Then, what is this long term capital gains tax? See, any asset that is held for over 36 months is termed as a long term asset. Assets like preference shares, equities, UTI units, securities, equity based mutual funds, and zero coupon bonds are also considered as long term assets if they are held for over a year. Thus, the profits generated through the sale of such an asset would be treated as a long term capital gain and would attract tax accordingly. Know that this tax applies to both individuals and businesses. Notably, the capital gains doesn't include business inventory, depreciable business property, real estate used by your business or as a rental property, and copyrights, patents, and inventions. Lastly, literary or artistic compositions. The next article mentions about the Agarwood and Sites. In this context, let us talk about them. Firstly, talking about the Agarwood, it is a unique, fragrant, dark, resinous wood known as the wood of the gods. Know that it is used in incense, perfume, and carvings, and it is known for its unique and captivating aroma. Further, it is highly valuable, often referred to as liquid gold. Notably, it was mentioned in medieval scriptures for its importance and its uses. Also, it is economically important and a fast growing evergreen tree which is native to the northeast India. It is considered significant for the access and also the benefit sharing it provides. Now, if we talk about the agarwood in the Indian context, it is predominantly found in northeast India, especially Assam, Manipur, and Tripura. Significantly, Agartala, which is the Tripura's capital, is named after these agarwood trees. In Assam, it's called the Sanchi tree. It is also found from the Himalayas to Papua New Guinea. Hence, it has the potential for economic growth in Tripura alongside the rubber, bamboo, and other forestry crops. Now, if we have to talk about its conservation status, know that it is critically endangered and it is listed in the Appendix 2 of the CITES. So, the Tripura Agarwood Policy 2021 aims to double the agarwood plantation by 2025, and further it is mentioned in ancient Vedas as a product of wealth and luxury. Now, if we talk about the CITES, know that the full form or it stands for Convention on International Trade in Endangered Species of Wild Flora and Fauna. It is adopted in 1973 and it was enforced in the year 1975. Now, what is this about? See, it aims to ensure international trade does not threaten the species survival. There are 184 member parties regulating the trade in over 38,000 species. Know that its secretariat is administered by UNEP, which stands for United Nations Environmental Programme, which is based in Geneva of Switzerland. Further, the parties meet every 2 to 3 years to review the progress and adjust the protected species list. As we have seen earlier in this video, we have to talk about the CITES appendices. So the Appendix 1 mentions the species which are threatened with extinction, hence with the highest protection level, and also the commercial trade is prohibited with respect to them. Then Appendix 2 mentions the species that are not currently threatened but may become so without controls. Lastly, Appendix 3 mentions that the species which are protected in at least one country and regulated trade with export permits and certificates of origin. The next article says that the cereal grains have overtaken sugarcane as the primary feedstock for the production of ethanol used in blending with petrol. Notably, this is the first time that the contribution of grains to India's ethanol production has surpassed 50% from 27.1% in 2022-23. In this context, let us talk about ethanol and later about ethanol blending program. So first, what is this ethanol? See, ethanol is an organic compound which is a clear, colorless liquid that is flammable and has a characteristic odor. It can be produced through the fermentation of sugars by yeast. a process that is used in the production of alcoholic beverages. Further, it can also be synthesized through chemical processes such as hydration of ethylene. Significantly, ethanol is 99% pure alcohol that can be blended with petrol. So, this is unlike the 96% extra neutral alcohol that goes to make potable liquor or 94% rectified spirit used in paints, cosmetics, pharmaceuticals, and other industrial products. Now, what is this ethanol blending program? See, the ethanol blending program is an initiative by the Government of India which is to promote the use of ethanol, a renewable and environmental friendly fuel in petrol. Know that it is aimed at reducing the country's dependence on crude oil imports, cutting carbon emissions, and boosting farmers' income. Notably, the target of 10% ethanol blending set in the roadmap for ethanol blending in India 2020-25 for ethanol supply year 2021-22 has already been achieved, and public sector oil marketing companies have started selling E20 petrol, which is nothing but 20% ethanol blended petrol across the country. Further, the National Policy on Biofuels of 2018 targets 20% blending of ethanol in petrol by the year 2025 and 26. So, how is this mainly produced? See, the ethanol is mainly produced from a byproduct of the sugar industry, namely the molasses. But other raw materials like sugarcane juice, sugar, sugar syrup, and damaged food grains can also be used for its production. Hence, the government has taken various steps to facilitate the procurement and supply of ethanol under the ethanol blending program, such as fixing remunerative prices, simplifying the procedure, waiving excise duty, and extending financial assistance. Note that in India, the Department of Food and Public Distribution is the nodal department for the promotion of fuel-grade ethanol producing distilleries. The next article says that the India's lithium ambitions hit a snag after the Ministry of Mines annulled the auction for the block in Jammu and Kashmir's Reasi district for the second time on July 25th. In this context, let us talk about various aspects related to lithium, like the properties, its occurrence, etc. So, lithium is an alkali mineral which is also called white gold. Know that it is soft, silvery white metal and the lightest metal of the periodic table. Further, you have to know that lithium is a critical mineral that is used extensively in electrical vehicle batteries, energy storage systems, and consumer electronics. Now, if you have to look at the major properties of lithium, it has high reactivity, low density, and excellent electrochemical properties. Talking about its occurrence, lithium is found naturally in various minerals including spodumene, petalite, and lepidolite. Notably, the top producers of lithium are Australia, Chile, China, and Argentina. Further, we have something called as the lithium triangle made of Argentina, Chile, and Bolivia, which contains roughly half of the world's known lithium. Now, if we have to talk about the lithium in India, see, the year 2023 saw a surge in the lithium discoveries. Massive reserves were unearthed in Salal Hainma regions of Reasi district of Jammu and Kashmir, which was estimated to be 5.9 million tons. Furthermore, additional reserves were identified in Kodarma and Giridih regions of Jharkhand. The next article says that the private sector owns over 52% of installed power generation capacity in the country. In this context, let us discuss few aspects. See, the total installed capacity in the country is 4,46,190 megawatts, out of which the contribution of the private sector is approximately 2,34,065 megawatts, which constitutes to 52%. So the private sector owns over 52% of the total installed power generation capacity of the 446 gigawatt in the country, playing an important role in this power sector. Note that the generation is a delicensed activity as per the Electricity Act of 2003, and 100% FDI or the foreign direct investment in the power sector in India is permitted for generation from all sources except atomic energy. Further, the electricity demand in India has witnessed a growth of around 9% for the years 2021-2022 and 2022-23. Notably, there is a significant decrease of about 9% in the average carbon emission factor of the grid electricity in India from 2013-14 to 2020-22-23. Know that India, in its intended nationally determined contributions stands committed to achieve about 50% cumulative electric power installed capacity from non-fossil fuel-based energy sources by the year 2030. At present, India has achieved 45.5% installed capacity from non-fossil fuel-based resources. The last article of the day is in the context of Prime Minister Sri Narendra Modi speaking about Project Pari and its role in promoting about public art. So let us talk about Project Pari in brief. See, the Project Pari, which stands for Public Art of India, is an initiative by the Ministry of Culture of the Government of India. Know that it is executed by Lalit Kala Academy and the National Gallery of Modern Art. If you have to talk about the objectives, the Project Pari aims to stimulate dialogue, reflection, and inspiration, contributing to dynamic culture fabric of the nation. Notably, the Project Pari includes a wide array of artwork which is inspired by the traditional Indian art forms. Further, the proposed sculptures for Project Pari explore a wide range of themes, including tributes to nature, ideas inspired by the Natya Shastra, Gandhiji, traditional Indian toys, hospitality, ancient knowledge, Nad or primeval sound, harmony of life, and Kalpataru, which is nothing but divine tree. Significantly, the women artists have been an integral part of Project Pari, and their participation in large numbers is a testament to Bharat's Nari Shakti. So, in today's video, we have discussed 8 articles in total from the Hindu, the Indian Express, and the PIB from the UPSC CSA prelims perspective. We'll be back again tomorrow with another video. Thank you.